Welcome to the LANCave, the weekly news show where we talk about nerd news, gaming news, anything that's really cool, and we talk about it a lot. And we rant a lot. I'm joined by Owen, as per usual.
We're so cool!
Look at that. Look at that. We have technology. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I screw things up. But we're here...
Press that old maximize button?
Yeah, I had to hit that maximize. Yeah. Errors happen.
That's okay.
We're here giving you gaming news, though. Rocking out, apparently I have a LaCroix collection going on over here. I just didn't realize. I haven't cleaned up. So.
You know, my wife really likes LaCroix.
Yeah?
I don't know. Have you ever gotten a Soda Stream?
I actually had one of those for a bit, but, I didn't use it that much. I need to... Yeah.
Because then you just make your own LaCroix. Then you can make your own LaCroix for cheaper. I heard you.
Yeah, you can use you can. I've heard of people using that and using lime oil and stuff instead of the stuff you can instead of the sugary stuff. Should be
well, they make non-sugary stuff too. The sugary stuff's for most people, but they also have just a regular sparkling water flavor. They're all fruits, just like LaCroix. So you can get an orange one or a lemony one, or there's a lime one. There's 5 or 6 of them that are on brand, and then I'm pretty sure you could probably find some off-brand ones too.
Yeah, I'm gonna test the sound really quick. If you want to keep talking, I feel like you're really quiet. Maybe just.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, I haven't adjusted any settings, so if I'm quiet, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's probably just me. I will adjust accordingly.
Although, whenever I was messing with OBS, my OBS had a filter, but OBS isn't open right now, and I'm not using it.
So it should be okay.
But if you think it sounds fine.
Yeah, we'll keep going. It's probably just me. Anyways, yeah, we had some actual news this week. A lot of weeks are light, but this week we actually had some interesting stuff. But you got to go out and see a movie. And I say that because you don't usually go out to the theater that often, I should say. You saw Detective Pikachu. What'd you think?
I go often enough.
Often enough?
We're with it. We just don't go every single time. But yeah. And the wife says it's just you and that she can hear me fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Probably the best video game movie I've seen. Not that bar is very high, but... I would say it's a solid baseline. The story, I didn't play the game, but the wife did, and she said that they actually made the story a little bit better than it was in the game, in terms of the direction that they took it. No spoils whatsoever, but they changed a few things, made it work for a movie, and it actually worked a lot better than it did in the game, according to her. So that review is good. And then just from a art perspective, I know that some people were a little weirded out the first time they saw furry Pikachu and everything, but the Pokemon art is fantastic. If they could do another live movie like this, if we could go towards maybe the Ash direction of things, and we, go through some type of trainer movie and have this graphic style of live action for the Pokemon, I am very much excited about it.
Yeah.
Who knows if they ever do it again, but I imagine that once you've created this kind of thing, you need to. But I think if you're a Pokemon fan, you'll like it. If you got kids, you'll probably be able to get through it.
Yeah, it's funny because the visuals are the one thing that I was like, that's going to be awesome. I didn't have any problem with the visuals whatsoever. The textures, that's the big thing to me. The textures on those Pokemon looked amazing, in the scales, the fur, everything.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah, it was real. It was that nice blend of yes, this is surreal, this is weird, but at the same time it looks like it could just exist there in this other world, other dimension, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think it worked the visuals look really well for me. I haven't seen it yet, but just looking at the trailers, I thought that was probably the best part. Be
on the lookout for a Home Alone Easter egg, by the way. Really random. But there's a Home Alone Easter egg in there, and it was hilarious to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go see it. We've been preparing for a convention, so we haven't been able to go to the theater. So next week, Probably see that and John Wick 3, which I've heard is also really good, and not anything like Pokemon.
What's crazy is that all 3 John Wicks, from a Rotten Tomatoes perspective, I think they're all around like 90 or 90 plus for an action movie. For a movie that is straight up action murdering things, 90s, and I think that's really cool. I just, in terms of Keanu Reeves and everything, like, you can say whatever you want about his acting chops, but whenever it comes to his history with action movies, it's always been pretty solid, if not great.
Yeah, ever since Point Break. I mean, every single action movie is. And what I like about the John Wick movies is, yes, it's unapologetic, it's action, but the story is still. I mean, there is a story, and the story is good enough that it facilitates that action, and that's all that it needs to be. It's not a crazy deep story, but it's enough that it facilitates the action, and the action scenes don't just seem thrown in there like a Fast and the Furious movie. It's like, yep, that just had to lead to a car chase. Look, of course there's a car parked on the on a skyscraper. Of course they're going to get into the car, and to me it doesn't make any sense. The John Wick movies somehow make it work.
I really just want that John Wick video game now.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be fun. The one that we talked about last week.
Yeah,
that's going to be great.
Yeah, I've been so I played some WWE 2K19, which I actually told you about. And,
2K.
And I like it. I played more of it since, but the story mode, I don't know, like it seemed like it was too difficult too soon. But that was probably just me being a noob at it and not playing a game in a while. But really, the biggest reason that I got it was because the Ric Flair edition was on sale. The Woo edition was on sale, so I had to get it because Ric Flair is just awesome.
The Woo
Yeah, that's what they call it.
I understand.
It's so good. It's
funny.
so good. That man is completely over the top, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing. It's not as good as some of the other, to me, like the PlayStation 1 games probably, and N64 games nailed it. But it's still fun. I mean, for $25, it was worth it.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't been playing much. If anybody happened to stop by the page over the weekend, I streamed Sea of Thieves for about 20 minutes just to see how it looked and working with the page, because I had never streamed to Facebook before. So we should check. Or not, we should check that out. I want to get into that more in the future. Some Sea of Thieves that I play, I generally play once or twice a week. But also I was thinking, and if anybody is interested, they can let me know. We always talk about how hard it is to get consoles in our office setting because we play them on the main TV. But what's not hard to move around is retro consoles with like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. So I wonder if anybody in our audience would be interested in some retro streaming, because I was thinking of going through the SNES Classic and just playing through the library. I'm definitely not going to beat everything on there, but it could be a cool little series that we do of just let's play the classics.
I think it's a good idea. You got the NES, right?
I both. Yeah,
you both. Me too. I got the PlayStation as well, and I know we have a difference of opinion on this, obviously, but I've hacked all 3 of mine.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 1, actually, sorry, I haven't hacked the PlayStation 1, but
that's best day.
But it's
since you can't use a DualShock on there, I don't know what the point would be.
There's still some games on there that I want to play.
Sure.
Intelligent Cube came with the PlayStation, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I mean, I'm probably gonna But
you can't play Super Monkey Ball.
Can't play Super Monkey Ball. It's true.
Yeah, it's over at that. No Super Monkey Ball. Can you even play Crash? Or I mean, I guess you could maybe
you play Crash.
Spyro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I've got the NES and SNES. I'm down with doing that too if we want to trade off or what have you. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Just thought I'd throw it out there. If anybody's interested, feel free to let us know. I might end up doing it even if you're not interested, but it just seemed like a really easy thing. I realized that I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a PlayStation in here to hook up easily to the computer, but I can very easily hook up those classics. I mean, it's just USB-C.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, they've been in my entertainment center, but we don't really use them very often. Like hardly ever. The wife doesn't really use them, so I've been just thinking about just putting them in here anyways. So yeah,
nice.
Like, I think it makes sense.
We totally work when we're on the clock. Employers.
Oh yeah, of course we do. No, of course
we would never.
It just and it's really because I'm thinking about the wireless HDMI setup that I'm going to move into. That's really what this is all about.
Living the dream,
Yeah. But we got some really cool news. We got gaming news and stuff. But Rick and Morty's coming back. Whoa. I'm so excited. I know you're probably indifferent about this, but Rick and Morty back in November. 70 episodes have been ordered from Adult Swim, so that's probably 7 seasons worth of Rick and Morty. So we're getting closer to the what did he say, like 1,000 years? I don't think you watched it, but like 1,000 years of Rick and Morty. He there's a joke to get the Szechuan sauce. He'll do anything for the Szechuan sauce.
Sure.
Meaning like they'll just keep doing this until they get the Szechuan sauce. Meaning there'll be hundreds of episodes of Rick and Morty. So we're getting closer to it. I love it. I'm happy, and I only have to wait till November, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, I wish I could share your excitement. I'm glad that there's a show coming back that you want. I will say, stop using whichever one is the older guy. I don't know which one is
Rick.
Which. Stop using Rick as your profile picture. If you use Rick as your profile picture on Twitter or Facebook, just cut it out. Okay, it's not funny. There's nothing ironic about it. Like, just stop using it. After that, I don't care. The show does not bother me, except for the amount of people who are in like groups that comment, and the ones that are, I'm not going to say rude. There's another word that I would use off stream. And they just always seem to have a Rick profile picture. I don't know what it is.
Which is funny because I was about to say, before you said that, I was about to say, yeah, no one aspires to be Rick, but maybe some people do, because he's not a good person.
Yeah,
he's horrible, and you're not really supposed to aspire to be either one of them. I mean, Morty, like, it's cool when he actually like becomes confident and actually does something. So that's kind of cool from a character arc perspective. But Rick is horrible. So why would you aspire? Why would you look up to that person? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, see, I know nothing about the show. I made it through 2 episodes, and then it's just not for me. That's absolutely okay.
Did you see Rick Potion number 9?
I saw whatever is the first 2 episodes of the show.
I can't remember.
So probably not.
But yeah, I mean, I love it. Yeah, it's not for everybody. That's fine. Like, I love what it sets out, what it has set out to accomplish. It totally does it, in my opinion. And
yeah,
I find it funny how many. I think part of it is it's similar to how South Park is, where the lower intelligence people will think it's funny and get certain things, and smarter people will get a completely different, like, get the other layers that are involved. So I guess those are the Ricks that you're seeing in message boards and stuff.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. It's fine. Cool. That's coming back.
We got E3
nice
news too.
Yeah, we do.
Finally got a schedule. I need to make this bigger. We finally got a schedule for E3, and that's not the layer I wanted to move, but technical difficulties. Yay! That's why you watch this show. So we have EA June 8th and 9th. That's on. So it's Saturday and Sunday. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But starting Sunday, as it usually does, because the convention actually starts on Monday, but I can't remember who it was that were initially. I think Bethesda started jumping the gun, and now everyone's trying to get things going on earlier. So we have Microsoft.
It's basically like that. You get it out of the way. Like, the convention still happens and everything, but in terms of like now that we live in the ecosystem that we do, where you can live view all these things, they now do all the conferences, and then there's still the convention afterwards, and that's when people actually get to walk the floor, play these games, and that's when all the reporters get to talk to people.
Exactly. And for us at home who aren't able to go there, this is where we experience E3. So people think E3 is over, and it's like, no, that goes on until like Friday or Saturday the next day of that week. Microsoft and Bethesda on Sunday. Ubisoft, Square on Monday, and then Nintendo on Tuesday. So, I mean, it's the lineup that we expected, except for Sony, which we already knew was not going to happen.
So it is the lineup we expected.
Yeah, well, it's the lineup we expected. Sorry, I was going to say it's the usual lineup except for Sony.
Yeah.
Which I'm still a little sad about. But at the same time, Sony has so much stuff going on. They just did their state of play that
we will talk about.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're missing out too much on Sony. I think Sony's got other avenues, and I still think that that E3 as we know it in a few years may just end up being directs like Nintendo does, which we'll talk about Nintendo's direct as well later on.
And one that was left out of this article, where I'm just, I understand why it was left out. They're still not as big yet, but I'm excited. Devolver Digital is not on that list. And Devolver Digital's is June 9th at 9 o'clock Central.
Gotcha.
So that'll be after the Bethesda conference. I don't know, an hour and a half after the Bethesda conference.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So Sunday's a busy day.
Sunday is a busy day. I'm going to do my usual of watching these live. I think you and I have been discussing like how we want to handle that, but we will be, one way or another, you need to follow our channel, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook and Twitch, because we're going to cover E3 in a better way than anyone else does, because we're awesome.
I mean, I'm not going to make that claim, but we will be good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'll say that much. Yeah, but I always I always live blog them. So if you're on Facebook and you want to follow, like you just want to read the list of every announcement, I put out a list of every single announced game and date. So if you just want a really quick rundown, and then we're still trying to figure out how we're going to do all the videos.
Yeah, but it's either way, it's going to be awesome, and then we'll do our recap on our regular Wednesday show. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, and on to non E3 stuff. We'll circle back. I know I'm excited about E3, but that's all we have for you right now. We'll circle back and talk about PlayStation State of Play and Mario Maker's Nintendo Direct. But let's get the other stuff out of the way first, and then we'll start to digest those. Starting out with Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Sweet.
Not Point Break, but that's okay. This is the Wildlands.
You really missed out on an opportunity there.
I know, right? More Keanu Reeves. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This is the Wildlands sequel. I will be honest, I did not play Wildlands. I know that this, I believe this game deals with you on, if I'm not mistaken, on an island owned by a tech mogul who's into AI and drones and stuff.
Who is it?
Oh yeah, of course. Apparently maybe his company probably does that. I don't know as much about this because I didn't play the first one. I know that this is obviously going to be a little different, but I mean the visuals obviously look great. I'm hopeful that we get something close to this in the game because all I've seen so far is the cinematic stuff. I haven't seen really gameplay stuff, and at this point, I kind of have to wait until I see people streaming it and reviewing it before I can really trust the gameplay videos. But either way, I mean, I love Far Cry, so I probably like this too. What do you think?
Well, honestly, if you are a fan of any of the Tom Clancy games, this goes back a long way. This brand has expanded immensely. There's Rainbow Six, obviously back in the day. These are all tactical shooters, and so that's what it comes down to for me, is if you like a tactical shooter, aka not Halo. So look at think of the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Halo's like you go in and you explode and it's sci-fi, and then you got the sword and it's all arcadey. This is not. This is like from an online perspective, it's those games where you're like dead in 2 shots if you're playing against other people. If that's your cup of tea, then these are the games for you. Ubisoft always does a very good job with them. I will not play them, but I will happily talk about them as we find out more. If we see like a gameplay trailer and stuff, I'll be happy to talk more about them. But I don't have the patience because I suck.
Yeah.
I will get murdered.
Oh no, I will too. And people are like, oh yeah, well you have to have a good crew, and I'm like, yeah, but I'll be the guy that everyone has to like help. And...
Like, come on, Patrick. Like, you dead already, dude. Like, the game just started like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of that. So, yeah, I'm like, it's the same reason. I mean, I'm not good at PUBG or Fortnite. Like, I'll play them every now and then, but I don't have the time to invest in it to get good, and I'm not good at these kind of games. So, yeah.
But if it had a narrative, maybe if it was on sale. It says that it's a narrative successor, but like I felt like it's mainly, I feel like it's like a Call of Duty type situation where it's always online and the story is not so much. But maybe I'm absolutely wrong, and I don't know. So feel free to correct me.
Maybe we don't know. We don't know as much about it, but I know about Netflix. And apparently Netflix, Netflix will be at E3. I guess I should have put that into, not necessarily at, but...
they're having a panel.
Having a panel, sorry. Yeah, having a panel at E3. So I guess I should have slid that in there.
It's okay.
To me, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to have their panel to talk about it or whatever, but after experiencing Black Mirror Bandersnatch, I don't know if you did it. Yeah, you did that. Yeah.
Oh, she did.
Oh, I really liked the integration, and I could see playing things like that, not necessarily at that level of production, but I could totally see playing a choose your own adventure, Telltale style, Life is Strange-esque game. With Netflix, I could totally see that. I don't know if they're going to if they're looking at that, or it's going to be a completely different type of application, maybe another app that you put on your TV, and we go into this world of boxless games where you don't have to have a PC, you don't have to have anything except for a TV or screen.
I mean, I think there's probably an opportunity for that, but I mean, we're also forgetting the fact that they have made Stranger Things games, and they are making or have already made, probably, I would assume it's finished, but maybe not. The Stranger Things season 3 comes out July 4th or so, and the game comes out like the same day. So there is a Stranger Things video game. So what if they're also just using it as an opportunity to make, as what kind of budget level it'll be, but just they have tons and tons and tons of series, so they could make more games off of those series. So I think that there's a chance that they still stick with mainstream console titles, albeit, retro maybe, or who knows. This is the thing, is like nobody knows in Netflix. It's such a big company in terms of what they spend money on, and if they're willing to throw money at making games based on their shows. But if they also just want to take like the Telltale route, I won't mind that either. I honestly, if they could do some animated versions, like the live action part of it was a little trippy for me. Not like I didn't play it, she did, but it's a little weird just sitting there having, like, that they're pre-recorded scenes, and it's going to be that way in a video game too, but you expect it from the video. I love me some Life is Strange. I love me some Telltale. So if they just want to do Telltale games, go for it. I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I will say I agree with you. Because I think part of it is because I was watching with Bandersnatch, you're watching what amounts to a movie, a high production value TV show, movie, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. If it was animated, maybe that cognitive dissonance wouldn't be there, because if you're playing any of the Telltale games, that's basically what happens. You're choosing, I'm going to choose X, and that starts a different cutscene. That's really how that works. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating on what they could be doing. I know that the other Netflix games, Netflix was involved in other games, but I thought they just licensed it out to another developer. That could be what we're talking about here. They could be saying, hey, we're going to license this property and this property. I don't know what other properties they would do, but
yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah, it'll be interesting either way.
That's the weird part, is figuring out what series would merit a game, especially because most of their superhero stuff is, they don't own those. Marvel owns the IPs, and so which I don't know. It's a real whenever I saw this article, that's why I put it on here. Is just because it's interesting. Like the fact that a TV company is going to go to E3 about something. We'll see.
I think it's interesting. Well, I mean, and if you viewers and listeners didn't know, all those superheroes that are pulled off is because Disney Plus is going to be coming out. Marvel is owned by Disney, so Disney's going to put that on there, and Disney also has full control now of Hulu. So we have, I've heard people describe it like, if you want the kids stuff, Disney Plus. If you want any of the more adult stuff, will be on Hulu, because nothing on Disney Plus will be over PG or PG-13. So that stuff would probably be on Hulu if it's a Disney property. So Aliens, or Alien, which is Fox Disney, would be on Hulu if they so choose to do that. So it's an interesting world with that going on.
You remember when cutting the cord was going to be cool? And it's like, man, I'm going to save so much money. I'm going to get rid of cable and all these access channels that I don't use.
And now it's like, well, now I have to have 4 subscriptions to get everything that I want. And now people who have cut the cord are like, well, I can also get live TV with this app. So it's like, now you're back at paying what you paid for with cable. You do have your more flexibility than with cable, because you can choose. I want the ESPN. I want ESPN's ESPN Plus. Yeah, I want that. Or not. So you have flexibility in that case, as opposed to like every cable package that comes with things that I don't watch, and probably comes with things that you don't watch, but you have to buy them. So
yeah, I think it's sometimes where because everybody knows that I'm a big fan of the free market. I think there's sometimes where the free market does stupid stuff, and I think what it's been doing with these streaming things, like just band together, let's talk to a few companies, and let's do a 3 or 4 together, the things that Sling is doing with live TV. Yeah. Let's do that with streaming services. Let's get a Disney Netflix, Hulu, whatever holy crap package.
Yeah. I will say that the closest thing we have to that is like Amazon. You can get your HBO and Stars and stuff out through their app, but I still would like a bundle that was cheap. Give me
it's the a la carte. The a la carte has the cart is now very full. I went a la carte, and then it's a big cart now.
You thought it was going to be one of those little handbag.
I thought it'd be like like whenever you have your birthday parties and you get the little paper plates that you buy for no other reason than birthday parties to put the piece of cake. I just wanted the cake, but now I want the cake and I want to eat it too.
Yep.
And apparently you can't do that.
No, you can't. I would like you said, there to be some type of bundle. Let me pay, instead of paying $10 at 4 or 5 different ones, let me bundle that together for a cheaper price, and then choose like a pick 2 or pick 3 that allows it to bundle, and for it to all be through a hub.
Sorry, it made me think of the McDonald's commercial. Let me get a McPick 2.
We're totally sponsored by McDonald's now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also got, I couldn't find a good visual for this, but Pokemon Rumble Rush for mobile.
Yeah.
The only videos that I could find, I apologize, were on IGN and some others, but free to play mobile game. So
yeah,
I'll check it out.
I only included this because why not? I mentioned, or I didn't really get into it because I mentioned Sea of Thieves, but I've been playing a little bit of mobile. Been playing a little PUBG Mobile. Been playing a little Pokemon Go. I'm still not a huge mobile gamer, but you give me the Pokemon branding. I threw it in there because I just saw Detective Pikachu. Apparently, this was a game that was on DS, I think, before, or Wii U. Okay. Yeah,
I think you're right.
It's been on some stuff, and so it's not just like a straight mobile cash grab game. I'm sure that they could turn that into it, though. But it looked like a little exploratory Pokemon, go fight some Pokemon, catch some more Pokemon. I can dig that.
Yeah. If it allows you to do more than just catch and collect, because the battle system in Pokemon Go, I haven't played it in a while, but it sucks.
It's the same.
Yeah. So yeah, if that's not improved, then I don't really care. Like, so I may try Rumble, maybe more fun, maybe more up my alley, and not as casual. Because Pokemon Go was very casual. Nothing wrong with that. It just that's what it is. That's what it aimed to do. It did it really well. Obviously, it's one of the biggest games that ever on mobile. I think it's
from what I've read, it's still a casual game. It's just that the focus is different. So it's not about walking around and just collecting. It's not like a geo game. It's not a geocaching game like Pokemon Go is. It's more you go to different islands, but you go to them in the game. You don't walk around in real life or anything like that. So it might be, from what I've heard, it's already out in a couple of countries on Android, but I looked today on iOS and it is not here yet. So when it does come out, I will inevitably report on it.
Yeah. So, and now that I have an Android phone, I could get the APK from another country, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that. So sorry.
I mean, maybe if you wanted to stream it on computer or something, there are people who stream Android because they have like an Android OS on their Windows computer, a simulator basically.
Yeah, I could do that, but I don't want to play it that bad. I'll just wait. I'll also have to wait for Mario Maker. So we just had the Mario Maker Nintendo Direct, which I watched with the wife. This is coming out on June 28th, which is great. This is something that we've been waiting for to hit the Switch for quite a while. It lends itself so well to the platform that, to me, I mean, it since it's Nintendo, the only reason I can think of them delaying it this much was polish and the different additions that they're adding to the game. That's the only thing I could think of. But at the same time, did you see? I mean, I know there's things that they added to the game and everything, but it doesn't seem like they added that. They didn't add that much more than on Wii U, but I'm okay with that because I mean, really, what I wanted was what they gave me on Wii U. I'm fine with what they gave me on Wii U, playing portable.
Well, they didn't have Super Mario World on.
Oh, that's right. That's true. I don't think they did.
And so that's a big addition. So that you could do Super Mario 1, 3. I think there's right now what was just on there was New Super Mario Brothers. I think.
I think
forgive me if I get that wrong, but Super Mario World's in there now too.
Yeah, I think you're right. And others. Good.
I could be wrong. I don't know if that's what it was, but I think it seems like from what I read and saw, it seems more like a quality of life Mario Maker. So basically just everything from one, except now it's better. It flows. Yeah. It's easier to use. I think I've been told it should be even easier to like upload and share games and stuff like that. But I could be. I'm not a big player. This isn't my kind of game. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's from what I've seen from the Nintendo Direct, it is a lot easier to share and find games, which is a big thing that to me that's a big thing. Like I'll make a little bit, but really I don't have the time I'll mess around with it a little bit, but I don't have the time to craft what if I'm really going to build something, then I'd have to take a lot of time to out of my day and I'm a perfectionist, so I'll go search for highly rated games and go play other people's levels that are really good. So I'm fine with that.
The thing I'm wondering is how people are feeling about the fact that so now everybody knows that Nintendo has Nintendo Switch Online, which is their paid service for $20 a year, cheapest paid service out of the 3 consoles. You have to have that to share your levels.
Yep. It doesn't surprise me, because there's only a few things that Nintendo really need. There's only a few things that people will use Nintendo Online for, and this is one of those things. They have to give a reason to get the service other than the NES, the Retro Console stuff.
Did you see they put Excitebike on there?
I did.
Yeah, baby, that's been fun.
I mean, other than that, like what do people play? On this, the Mario Kart, Splatoon, Tetris, but
which they have added a DLC to that too.
Yeah, so they need, to me I'm fine with this because it needs to have more reasons to be playing online or to have the service other than that it's other than the retro stuff, because this is supposed to be an online service, and that's essentially what this is. You're paying monthly to make sure that they have that they're maintaining the servers that allow these to be stored, because in order to share it, you get a code, but it's stored on a server that people access. So there's still server space and processing being done.
Yeah. Honestly, obviously it doesn't bother me. I've had the service since day one. It's just this is one of the few times that Nintendo's been like, you have to have this. So we know that the feature's now there. But if you've been following this page, you will have known that I told you that you could get it for free with Amazon Prime on Twitch Prime a few months ago. And then with Mario Maker 2, they're also doing a deal where I told you the service costs $20 a year. You can get a $70 copy of Mario Maker 2 that gives you a full year. So that's a full year for $10 plus the $60 game. And they said even if you already are a subscriber, it will just add on to your existing subscription. So if getting that cheaper works for you, then this other thing. Did you see the last thing at the very end with the vouchers?
Yeah, I did.
It's weird to me.
With the vouchers for the $100 you get 2. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so for $99 you can get 2 any Nintendo exclusive voucher or something like that.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought I didn't realize it was a voucher for any Nintendo. I thought it was specific to Mario. That's odd, but at the same time, like, that means you could have a voucher and you could buy 2 games for $50 each instead of $60. That's not bad. I mean, it saves you $10. I would need to know how long those vouchers last, because Nintendo games don't come out at a rapid pace.
They last 1 year.
Last 1 year. Okay, that's fine. Then if you buy it close to the release of the next big Nintendo game that you want, that means that you've got another year to use the other. You can redeem one voucher then, and then wait to strike for the next one, because they're $60 a pop when they come out. They don't go on discount that often and that much for the big games. Yeah, for Nintendo games. So
so you can use it on Odyssey, you could use it on Breath of the Wild, Smash, Donkey Kong Country. You can use it as a pre-order for Mario Maker 2 and more.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's cool. I just think it's strange to buy vouchers like that. Like, why not just let's just have a sale. Like, let's just say, because by the way, you have to have Nintendo Switch Online to buy this voucher. How about if I'm a Nintendo Switch Online user, so that $20 a year that I pay you, give me 2 coupons for $10 off, like, of Nintendo. You can even limit it to, like, don't make me give you my $100 right away. Just give me $10 off a game. And I'll go on there. I know there's at least one Nintendo game that I still haven't bought because I didn't feel like paying $60 for, like Yoshi's Crafted World. I'll go buy that for $50 maybe, but just give me the coupon instead of making me pay you for the coupon and for something that I might forget a year down the road. If I'm buying it right now, who knows where I'm at.
If you're a subscriber on PlayStation Plus, if you have PlayStation Plus, then you can. There are sales that go on pretty frequently, where you can get these games at a decent discount. But yeah, if they. I mean, I don't think that they would lose money if they said, if you're a subscriber, then you can get $10 off new releases. I don't think they're going to lose money, because they're going to get $50 out of somebody who may or may not have purchased the game if it was $60. I think that you're going to get an uptick of people who are going to buy it, and it's going to be enough to justify that $10 off. And it's digital, so you're not having to you're not paying for distribution, you're not paying for overhead. I don't.
You get all the monies.
Yeah, you get all the monies
as usual.
Let me give you $50 instead of not giving you $60, and maybe getting it when it's on Black Friday deals. I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. I'm not saying that I buy every single one, but yeah, $10 off if you're an online subscriber, then $10 off new games. You can give it a specific, maybe it's the first week or 2 weeks or whatever. I think they'd have an uptick of people who would buy.
Yeah, or maybe even make it a pre-order bonus type thing, much like Amazon and Best Buy would do, where if you paid for their service, then you can pre-order games at a discount. So make me pre-order your game and give me $10 off. And I think that's a better way to do this. Whenever I saw this, like, I don't mind it. It's not bad because you could use them right away and get $20 off games. It's the thing of, if I use one now and then I'm like, something cool's got to come out between now and next, May 15th, right? But I forget about it.
Sure.
And I don't know how shady it is or not. Is it blatantly right there in your Nintendo eShop, like, hey, you have a voucher, or is it hidden somewhere that I'm going to easily forget that I have it?
Is it something that only pops up towards the end, like where it's like, oh, you're done with the transaction, did you want to use that voucher? If that's the case, it's not really going to remind you. I mean, at the same time, you could say that's shady, but at the same time, like I guess as long as you have a way to look it up. But I would like a little icon that shows. Right now, does the shop show if you have? I don't think it shows if you have money.
Coins?
If you have coins, yeah.
You have to go tap on your name, or you have to already be in the purchase screen.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, compared to Amazon, like, if I have an Amazon credit, like I got an Amazon gift card sent to me, then I'm not gonna see. I don't see it until I'm at checkout. So.
No.
But then again, I use Amazon a lot more than I use Nintendo. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's just a bigger platform there, and I think there might be like a screen, depending on where you're looking, where it's easily seeable, like to be able to see like how much credit do I have. I think that, maybe I don't pay enough attention because I don't I use Amazon more often, so I don't have a whole lot of Amazon credit laying around. But I don't know. I don't want to say do something that not everybody else does, but in terms of something like this where you made me buy a voucher to just kind of hold on to if I want. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes with that. I'm not striking at it unless there's specific things that I'm going to purchase. Like I said, it's going to be a planned attack at that point, because it's $100, and you're going to spend $100 to save $20. That's, I mean, I get it, but right now I can't foresee. I can't think of games where it would be worth it, except for maybe Mario Maker. I mean, I'm assuming that's coming out as $60. So.
Sure. There's gonna be Animal Crossing. We're not gonna see Metroid for like another 2 or 3 years.
No. We're gonna see there's a new Zelda, but I don't think
Pokemon. Maybe Pokemon.
When does that come out though?
Fall.
Oh, is it fall?
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, maybe I could see something like that. We'll see what comes out with E3. I don't know how long this voucher deal's for, but if it lasts, like if it's just a voucher deal where like they just leave it there and you can buy it whenever, then I wait till E3 happens and then I get Pokemon and something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, you could get both the Pokemon games, but you need to have someone else have the other game so you can trade.
Yeah,
so that doesn't work. If I will say that if they do release a new Switch towards later on this year, I will be picking up a new Switch. So then we'll have 2 Switches in the house. Yeah. So then Whitney and I can play Pokemon together / side by side, which will be fun.
Side by, there's got to be some Pokemon song to that, like side by side. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not very good on my feet today. But there's some Pokemon song in there about side-by-side training and wanting to be the very best that ever was.
I'm sure there is, yeah. You can see it. You can hear it somewhere else. We're too tired to deal with that right now.
It's okay.
We had the PlayStation Direct, as I like to say, PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
I still wish they'd just call it Direct, but
you can't use the same name as Nintendo.
We have Monster Hunter, which we knew this was coming out. Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Yeah.
Which will come out June 9th, which is a massive expansion of DLC, which is great. I mean, I did like Monster Hunter World. It does become grindy, but I liked it. So maybe I'll go check this out. I don't know.
I know if you're a fan of the series, you're probably a huge fan of the series, because anybody who likes it really generally gets into it. I tried to get into it. It's just not. It was too online. centric for me. And from the online centricness of like, it wasn't easy enough to like jump in and jump out with friends or anybody that you knew. And so it's kind of like hard to party up. Like every once in a while I would see a notification on the screen like so and so has joined your world. I'm like, okay, and then I would never see so and so. So I didn't understand, kind of how it was, but it was a massive success for Capcom. Tons of people love this game, and this looks cool. So if you dug this game, they're just adding on some playability for you a year later,
which is great. Yeah, to me, I think you hit it on the head with it. It's so online, and also, like I said, it's grindy, but also every time I was playing, I was having to collect or grind out to get a specific type of ingredient or crafting component or whatever. Like it was never a game where, like Breath of the Wild, which I'm playing again, I can go out and explore and play, and sometimes I'm like, you know what, I do need more what are the staminella mushrooms or whatever they're called. All right, well, I'll put that on my thing and I'll go explore and get mushrooms while I'm doing that. But it never seemed like a chore, and a lot of times Monster Hunter seemed like a chore to me. The online component, being able to sync up with people, was always finicky.
It's kind of RNG dependent, and you have to really be in the mood to play an RNG game where you're not necessarily always guaranteed the part that you want. There is stuff where you are where there are quests to go kill specific enemies. That's not really random dependent, but like the drops that you get from those, that's where it's very MMO like. It's very classic MMO like, and you just have to really be in the mood for that kind of game. And some types of games that really strikes with people because of that replayability factor. And it didn't hit me, but the game looks great and it plays great. The combat's fun. I didn't want to grind that much.
No, I agree. What do you think about River Bond?
I thought it looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not the thing is that we don't. Everybody talks about how the co-op is dead, so this is a game we would tell like Alex about, because it has 4-player couch co-op, and they called it a frantic take on dungeon crawling. So that tells me that it's probably not slow paced or anything. You can look at the video here. It looks like it's just very. It kind of reminded me. It makes me think of like an 8-bit looking, 16-bit looking Diablo.
Yeah.
And I can dig that.
Yeah, it reminded me of what was it called? It was Pixel 3D. It was a game on PS3, which I really liked. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a pixely version of like a Zelda kind of thing. Pretty darn ripped off Zelda. But it reminds me.
Oceanhorn?
No, it was 3D Dot Heroes, I think is what it was called.
Okay.
But at the same time, this seems like it adds that Diablo and Bullet Hell like all together. Those kind of things mixed together. So it looks fun to me. I want to see how it is co-op wise, and I mean, it may be something I can play with the wife. I mean, it's interesting. If it's too difficult, though, it won't work with us, though.
It didn't look that. That's the thing. Is that it doesn't look like anything to take too seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not like too overwhelming.
We'll see if it's not overcooked.
Yeah, exactly. Predator Hunting Grounds, though. This is going to be interesting. Okay, I'm a huge Predator fan. You can't do it. Are you trying to do a Predator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Predator, and I think this is when I heard online asymmetrical multiplayer. I'm like, that's perfect, because it's going to take, probably more than 2 or 3 people to take down a Predator. So yeah, it makes sense for you to have like 4 or 5 against 1. For that.
So this is being made by the same people who made Friday the 13th,
which I liked.
Which makes this game make sense. Because if it's team versus Predator, I mean, it's not going to happen. But what would be totally awesome is if you get like Arnold and you got what's his name?
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why. If you got Carl Weathers, like if you just got like some of those, just put their likeness in there. You don't need to get their voices, but like totally go over the top on it and let us know that is exactly who those characters are without being able to pay them for it. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm more apt to play this than Friday the 13th because I do not like Friday the 13th as a movie, as a character. But I love Predator. It's impossible not to if it bleeds.
We can kill it. No, I love that. The first movie is amazing. Second movie I think is good in its own way, and then we just kind of went off the deep end with the other ones. But yeah, I'm glad that they're able to do this, especially with because this studio did Friday the 13th, like we mentioned, and the reason that got pulled wasn't as much about the sales and reception of the game, which, I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was the rights to the game being pulled, because right now there are multiple people suing each other and trying to get the rights to Friday the 13th to continue the series and or create more movies, and the game got thrown into this. So I'm glad that the team is able to do something else, because I did like the Friday the 13th game, because it is my thing.
Yeah, a lot of people did, and they did it was buggy, but still, for all of its flaws, they accomplished what they set out to accomplish.
It's better than the other one that I always forget the name of. The other one that's basically the same thing that came out around the same time, but they didn't have any licensed characters, so you have generic crazy hillbilly instead of Leatherface and other things. So, I liked Medieval though. You played this back in the day, right? This
was way out of left field for me. Maybe other people knew this was coming, but I was so surprised. And I had to look this up, that the last time we've seen a Medieval game is 2005 on the PSP, which means the last time you saw it was a lot longer than that. Most of you.
Oh yeah, because I didn't know it was on PSP. I'm just thinking of the PS1 game, which I loved. So I'm so happy about this. October 25th. This will
great release date.
Yep.
Right around Halloween. Get yourself just some hack and slashy, good time. Again, I was just what? I mean, I would see this franchise since I was a kid. The last time I played a Medieval game, I was in freshman year of high school, sophomore year. It's been a long. I don't know. It's cool. Way to go. The only sad part about this is that the studio that originally made it is closed now, and they outsourced it to a third party in indie, the people who made Thimbleweed Park, which is a completely different kind of game than this. But I'm sure they're still perfectly capable. But it should be fun.
I think it's going to be fun. It's a nice throwback. It's an interesting throwback. In this world of retro and nostalgia, I think it works. It obviously worked for me because I'm I want to buy this. It's the reason that Spyro and the Crash collection and everything sold well, is because of that nostalgia. So, Away, the survival series looked interesting. If I want to. I don't know how to. I'm an animal lover, you know that. But I don't know if this is for me. You survive disasters and make your way to Sanctuary. Obviously you probably have right there. It kind of showed some predators and sneaking around, but being able to fly is kind of cool. But I really don't know who this is for. I don't know if it's for me, even though
it's for me.
Lover. Is it for you?
Absolutely. This is totally my kind of thing. Because this is the first game from some people who broke off from Ubisoft. So you're talking people who make AAA games, and they're going to make an indie AAA experience for this. So I get vibes I don't know if you've played Flower.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibes I got from it. It seems a little bit more puzzleistic than that, because you have to figure out how to get past those predators and stuff. So it's not quite as chill as Flower, but absolutely, this is my kind of game. There's going to be no talking or anything like that. It's going to be a completely nature thing, which means it's going to be all about the scenery and how your little creature walks around. The second I saw this, I knew I was going to buy it. It's completely in. It looks extremely pretty. If it manages to be that pretty when it comes out and plays like it showed that it did, we'll have a good time going through that. I can't imagine this game being extremely long.
Yeah.
A few hours at the most. If you've ever played, have you ever played Unravel?
Yeah.
It kind of gave me that, except it's a live animal versus the magical yarny looking thing.
I mean, yeah, if it has the puzzle aspect, I could probably dig it. Like I guess I didn't fully get that out of it, but
it said survive disaster, so I imagine that you have to do at least something. Like it can't just be a matter of like, oh, I'm gonna go stand under this leaf. I'm surviving a disaster.
No, I think some events are going to happen, but I just don't know how balanced is this going to be? Is this going to be a game that's really like Zen and, like you mentioned, Flower, Journey is another example. No, that's kind of different, but it's a very Zen game in regards to the gameplay. So is it something like that where you can just chill and just experience it? Is it going to are you going to have situations where you're being hunted? Like brings up the this pacing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you'll have to let me know how it is then.
Absolutely. And they said, I don't think they said when this one's gonna come out, and if they did, I didn't write it down.
I didn't see the last thing though, which we could talk about forever.
The last thing. The best thing.
The best thing. More Final Fantasy VII, which I did sit Whitney down and was like, you need to watch this. And she's more on board. She's still not sold on it. I've been trying to get her to play Final Fantasy VII since we started dating. She tried. She just does not like the timed RPG stuff. So I'm hoping this allows her to experience that story, but with the action elements.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. It's true. That's true.
The character models minus putting sunglasses on Barrett. I don't understand that. Like, you're especially in Midgar, where there is no sun.
Yep.
What does he need sunglasses for?
Yep.
He never, whatever. That's literally the only beef that I have with how this game looks right now, because otherwise the character models look fantastic. Like, look how awesome Aeris looks.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Aeris looks so good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Tifa yet. I imagine that's by design. The voice acting is a little suspect. I really hope that they include a Japanese soundtrack with English subtitles. Because I don't know if I could listen to some of those voices for an entire game.
It's a little intense. Barrett is a little more intense than
he sounded a little weird. Like he just didn't. I don't know. There's a thing. That's the thing about these characters. Whenever they were originally voiceless, and putting voices to them is really hard because everybody has it in their own mind, like what these characters sounded like. Yeah. So I don't know. I imagine though that they'll include that, but it looks good. I'm still, you know me. I'm not gonna get overly excited about it because they can easily mess it up if they change the story too much or anything. If they change like narrative elements, I told a friend of mine if they take out if they take out the cross-dressing part, or if they take out like the date with whoever you warm up to the most, like there are things where. If they take those elements out, I'll be a little upset. But it looks good. The combat looks good. I'm a lot less worried about the action RPG element. I see how it works. I see them pulling stuff that they probably pulled straight from how they worked 15. I'm not excited for it yet, but I'm down. I'm down to see more. They said that they're going to say more stuff at June, which Square Enix is doing a press conference, so I imagine we're going to see more there.
Yeah.
What do you think? So. Are you any more excited?
I'm more excited. I mean, I was already excited, but I'm more excited. Yeah. I was going to buy it anyways. It's not even a choice for me.
I own that game on every console.
Yeah, same here. So I was going to buy it. It's not even a question at that point. It's just like, how excited am I of what they're doing in regards to the direction. I'm hopeful that they keep all of the intricacies, like you mentioned, the date. There's so many. I just don't know if they'll be able to keep all of it, or they'll choose to keep all of it in regards to bringing it forward, because the in regards to pacing, the way that you pace a time-based RPG text is very different than with this. So you're going to have basically cinematics. I mean, cinematics are different nowadays, though. It's in-game cinematics, so it's not as intensive in regards to like disk space or anything. In some cases, you don't have to worry about disk space because it's all downloaded.
I did just have a thought. It'd be cool if they did something with the golden saucer. Like, I'm not saying you have to put an online component in there, but imagine like if there was like the snowboarding game, being able to play the snowboarding game with other people playing the game. They do have a golden saucer in Final Fantasy XIV that has the Final Fantasy VII games in it, as well as Triple Triad and Chocobo Racing.
That's cool.
I'm not saying that they would link 7 and 14 because the graphic systems are different, but it would be cool. Now that I think about it, if they had some kind of like something to entice you to play more at the Golden Saucer, because they're like, unless they just do something stupid, like, I don't know, they're not going to leave it out. But if they make it to where you can't play anything there, I think they're missing out on a huge opportunity. I mean, I literally break down this game from every angle, every disc. How's Knights of the Round gonna work in an action RPG?
Are we gonna have materia? I mean, are they gonna keep that?
No, don't hurt me. Don't do it. I don't want to think about it. There has to be. You can't. It's a great magic system. It's a great.
It's one of the best magic systems ever. Yeah. No, I agree.
It's such a good stat system, and
it's so malleable. It's easy to understand, but it's malleable in regards to your characters and everything. So, anyways, let us know in the comments what you think about that. What do you think they're going to keep in Final Fantasy VII, and what do you hope that they don't change? What do you think is a key component to the game that there's no way they could change? And are you as excited as we are about it, or are you more excited about the Zelda game that I always forget the name of? Is it the Zelda remake that they're doing?
Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening. Let us know. Are you more excited about that? Final Fantasy VII? Let us know in the comments.
I was totally lost there for a second because I was like, I haven't thought about that game in a little while. I'm just waiting for it to come out.
They're doing a remake of it. So
shitty Zelda.
Let us know which one you prefer, which one you're more excited about, and we'll see you later.